Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly No Time to Waste show. No Time to Waste live. Got a lot of exciting stuff happening today. Here's what's happening on today's show. I'm going to give a quick personal update. I'm going to talk about not one, but two giveaways that we have going on today. I'm going to introduce my guest, Roderick Sewell, who is already a close personal friend of mine, so I get to call him Rod, which is super cool. I'm going to give a sneak peek of our guest next week, which is a big deal. And then I'm going to ask for some feedback around how to structure this show. Should I do a podcast? Should I also do another little Instagram live show? Should we call it this or this? I've got a bunch of questions, and you guys are the ones that I want to ask because you're the ones that tune in live. Okay, so personal update to start. 3 things that I'm grateful for this week. One, I'm feeling so much better. I don't know if you can tell week over week, but I just took my inhaler and, I was out on my bike 2 days ago and did a 2-hour ride. I have been enjoying my new toy, which I'll talk about in a second, but I am sounding and feeling so much better, and I can only assume that means the chemo is working. Right? I have cancer in my chest, which has metastasized, which means it's spreading. And when I discovered it, 2 months ago now, or a little over a month ago, I needed to start chemo right away. I've gone through 3 cycles, 1 cycle, which is 3 weekly treatments, 1 week off. And I can only hope that if I felt better on the bike 2 days ago than I did in June, that the chemo's got to be working, right? So that's, in my mind, I'm like, it's working. I'm going to get a really great result in my scan in October that's going to tell me the treatment is working. Let's keep going. So that's what I'm holding on to. So grateful for number 1, that I'm feeling better, because when I'm physically not feeling well and I can't work out and do the things that I love, I am on a downward spiral really fast. 2, because I'm feeling better and also the timing has been perfect, I got a Peloton tread. Is it overpriced? Yes. Is it a beautiful tread that runs great and is super smooth? Yes. Is it still overpriced? Yes. But I've been obsessed with it, and coming into what is going to be the crazy Boulder season of weather, where I kid you not, on Monday of next week in Boulder, on Tuesday it's going to be 85 degrees, and on Wednesday it's going to be 38 degrees. That's a 50 degree swing. Yes, Liz, this is my sport wig. I'm not even talking about it. If you guys saw me, I shaved my head last week like G.I. Jane on Friday after the show, but I'm now wearing my sport wig, and I'm super grateful that because of a weird wig cap that I never wore before, it's not itchy and nobody can tell that I have cancer. It's a secret thing. So, sport wig, grateful. 3rd thing I'm grateful for, I'm wearing my Captain America shirt because my spouse and I have decided to watch all of the Marvel superhero movies as a nice, healthy escape from the tragedy of current life. And I'm loving the superhero movies, and it makes me feel like a superhero, and I bought a superhero t-shirt. So, imagine that. All right, so those are my personal updates. Feeling great, sounding great. Super jazzed on Peloton. First giveaway that I'm going to talk about. The National Association of Women Business Owners, the Orlando chapter, has invited me to speak at their Wellness for Winning event, which is going to be next Saturday. In exchange for me speaking, I've asked them to donate a swag bag that is sponsored by Clickable Impact. It's got over 20 items in the swag bag. From Nomo nausea bands. So it's basically a holistic, non-prescription, non-medicated, all herbal nausea wristband that people can use if they're in chemo, if they're pregnant, if they're going on a boat, although I guess cruise ships and stuff now don't do that. Loopy plant-based protein, Element electrolyte drink, a bunch of skincare products. It's awesome. It's a great swag bag. If you want to enter to win, it's really easy. Visit on Instagram their account, which is NAWBO, which is National Association of Women Business Owners, ORL. Orlando, right? So now it looks like Nawbu Oral, NAWBOORL. If you visit that page, you'll see a photo of moi. If you like that, they're gonna make a choice and pick a random winner at the end of the day today at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So in 5 hours, you've got 5 hours to do it. Don't leave the IG live to do it right now. Do it after. NAWBOORL. Go there, like the thing, win the swag bag, which is awesome. Their event is free to attend. You can find the link in bio to their event. It's happening on Saturday, September 12th, and you can hear me talk for a little bit about No Time to Waste and all the cool stuff that I talk about. So FYI, I am still doing speaking engagements. I've got 3 different ones lined up in October. You can find out more at notimetowasteproject.com/events. I am just super selective about which events I want to speak at. And I also am donating a large portion of my speaker fee proceeds for those that do pay cash to charities that I support, which I'm going to talk about next week. Okay, giveaway number 2 is a $150, what? Look at this sucker! Rudy Project multi-sport backpack. It's big enough to fit your bike helmet if you're a cyclist or a triathlete. This puppy costs $150 on their website right now. It's super cool, and I'm going to tell you at the end of the show today how you can win it, because it's coming at you from me and my guest, which I'm about to introduce. So I have got Roderick Sewell, aka Rod, because we're good friends. Rod, if you want to request to join the Instagram live, we are going to invite you to come on. So Roderick Sewell, while he is about to join, so request to join Rod, and I'll bring you on. Rod is best known for being the first double amputee to complete the Ironman World Championships in Kona in October of 2019. So keep in mind, he was, and we'll talk about it, essentially he was not born, but he was less than 2 years old when they amputated both of his legs. And he has not only overcome that, he has overcome a ton of challenges that I'm excited to talk to him about. And then the decision to take on the training and the challenge that is training for an Ironman, which for a full-bodied person is still just baffling and amazing. But he's not only that, he's a lot more. He is a U.S. Paralympian. Swim has been his bread and butter, but he is now really starting to focus on the bike, the hand bike. He is very much involved with the Challenge Athletes Foundation, whom he works with closely and helps kind of get the word out all over the country. And he also just announced a sponsorship with Vega, which is plant-based protein and nutrition products. So I'm excited to talk to him as well. So Rod, if I just want to make sure he hasn't requested to join. Rod, request to join. There should be a button. And let's see. I haven't seen him request to join yet. Hopefully he will do that soon. Or maybe I don't have to. Maybe I don't have to. Let's see. Rod. Hello, Rod. I know he's here. So we're just waiting for Rod to request to join, and then Rod, I can bring you in the situation here. Rod, I don't think I can pick the person. All right, so we're waiting for Rod to request to join. So people know, I'm getting a message from the National Association of Women's Business Owners Orlando that they also would like you, if you want to win the swag bag, you have to DM them with your email address. And we'll see who wins that. Rod is looking for the button now. It should be a button, scroll all the way up. I did, Anne. So Rod, I believe there should be a button that's somewhere on your screen that says request to join. He's looking for the button now, everyone. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, if you're not familiar with Ironman and triathlons, the Ironman and a full Ironman, because there's a half too, which is 70.3. The full is a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike, a 26.2 mile run, which is a marathon, which is insane. Near the top of the comments, Rod, you should see some sort of a request to join situation. So check the top of and oh my gosh. Oh, Christian in Cape Town, South Africa. I'm so glad you're here. See, look at this. Oh, I met Christian when I was on a Life List adventure in South Africa a year ago with my little sister. And we had him at he was our server at the Mantra Cafe restaurant in Cape Town. So fun to see you, Christian. Thank you. And South Africa is the best. Okay, so I'm still having he's looking for the button now. Rod can't find the button. This is what makes me think about what I was going to talk about at the end, but I'm going to talk about right now while we wait for Rod. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday who was like, you're already doing all of the work of a podcast. Why don't you just do a real podcast? And I was like, I don't want it to be like formal, and I don't want it to have the expectations of a podcast, and I don't really know how to do it. Rod's looking for, he's scrolling for a hide live video. No, Rod can't find the option to request to join. You need to scroll up, Rod. Not me. That's what people are saying. So yeah, scrolling up. People are telling me, Rod, to tell you, you have to scroll through to the top of the comments to see the request button. So go all the way to the top, Rod. And there should see some sort of a request button. Log out and log back in. These are things people are telling me. We haven't had any other issues before. And I'm making sure that I don't see it, because usually I see something that says, Rod Sewell 92 has requested to join. And then I say, okay. Thank you for comments on my hat. I've been wearing hats a lot because I'm wearing sport wig. This is my snowbird hat that's getting me excited for ski season. Let's see. Still, I do not see any requests to join, which means I can't get him in. Rod says he's at the top, but he sees no requests. He's doing this from his computer. Does that make a difference? Yes, Rod, you got to do it from your phone. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, I'm super excited about ski season. Last season, I was apparently, there we go. So yeah, you've got to be on your phone, Rod. That's what everybody's saying. You have to be on the mobile app. So we'll give Rod a second. I guarantee, he said 1 second. I guarantee it's going to be worth it. I will talk about the giveaway right now. So here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to see a post for the $150 Rudy Project backpack. You're going to see a post on both Rod and my Instagram. Whoa! What? It's neon. Later on today. It's a lot bigger too than you can probably see. And it has a laptop sleeve, which is awesome. And apparently it also fits your cycling helmet, which I believe goes in here. So you're gonna see a post. Yeah, this is where you this is your cycling helmet. Here it is. Lots of different pockets. If you're a triathlete, we all know how expensive. It's also waterproof. You can feel the outside of it. It feels like a wetsuit. Oh, yes. All right, we're coming. Go live with the legend, Rod Sewell. He's coming. So you have to follow, but yes, there he is.
Hi.
Ah, victory.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to use my laptop. It has such a better quality.
That's okay. That's all right. You look mysterious in this in this light. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I talked about you a little bit. I don't know if you heard, but I kind of gave you a bit of an introduction about, a lot of people know you because you completed the Ironman. You were the first double amputee above the knee to do it.
The photos, for those who haven't seen it, are incredible and mind-blowing. And even just, having completed that for anyone with 2 legs without any prosthetics is an incredible accomplishment. But as I've sort of teased out to people this week, like what a lot of people didn't see, was all the work and all the challenge that came before Kona. So I do want to talk about that. I will ask one question about the Kona accomplishment, and then we will move on, because you are more than just that. But what was it when you were invited to participate in Kona? What was going through your head? Like, what crazy person? I want to hear what a crazy person thinks about in their head when presented with that opportunity and thinking about all of the training and everything that was in front of you. Like, what compelled you to say, yeah, I'm into that, I'll do it?
I had already been involved with triathlon through Challenge Athletes Foundation.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the greats go up against Kona, and either it makes them or breaks them. It's either like a really, really successful trip or just like hell, just like the worst. So to be presented with this opportunity, I knew like I was going to represent CAF. It was my turn. And I feel like with something like that, you don't turn it down, because even if it's an attempt, it's still worth it. It's still.
Did you think there was a chance that you were going to fail and you weren't going to complete it?
Oh yeah, there were a couple times where I thought for sure, and it wasn't so much like I doubted myself, or I just was realistic. And with Ironman, there's so many variables. There's so many things could happen. So I just kept that in mind. But if the only thing that I had control of was to keep going and to keep moving, then that's all I needed.
And then I think I asked you this when we talked the other day, but did you find the training and the actual race easier as expected or harder than you expected?
Oh my gosh. Race day was much, much harder. I had put in the time in the pool. I put in the time running. I feel like for the bike, I wasn't as prepared. And it's not so much the distance, but the climate, the heat and the winds, and it really gets you. I didn't realize how it can really affect you. Yeah. And I think that's the part that I wasn't necessarily ready for.
Got it. And I've read some past interviews, and I don't want to double up on that stuff, but I learned that you kind of were using Kona as an opportunity to drive awareness about CAF, which is the Challenged Athlete Foundation, which I know you work really closely with now. For those people that are listening that don't know, can you explain what Challenged Athletes is? And I know you got involved with them when you were about 8 years old, and that kind of put you on your path to becoming an adaptive athlete.
For sure. CAF has been a huge motivator in who I've become. When I was young, I didn't compete in sports. From the time I was born to 8 or 9, I pretty much tried to figure everything out myself. I was riding around on skateboards and not really knowing how, and just trying to be as mobile as I could. And then I get involved with Challenge Athletes Foundation, and I get my first pair of running legs. I get my first hand cycle. They give me swim lessons, and I'm just learning about adaptive sports and that I can be an athlete. And so that's what CAF's goal is to supply anybody with a disability just this healthy lifestyle and this different outlook on life that everybody deserves. You shouldn't be told that you can't do something because it costs too much, or it's a luxury. Everybody has the right to go out and have a good time and just be healthy. So CAF has been doing that for over 20 years now, and now that I'm older and I play a part as not just that kid that's just running around being active, but I'm inspiring the next generation. I'm helping them get more awareness out here in the Northeast, and just letting more people know about CAF and getting more people involved. So it's been amazing. It's been a long journey.
Yeah. For anybody that wants to learn more, you can go to, I believe it's at Challenged Athlete Foundation, which is Instagram. And you can also go to their website, which is it CAF.com or is it Challenged Athletes? Do you know?
It's challengeathletes.org, I believe.
Challengeathletes.org. They also take donations. They had a really huge presence in San Diego when I lived there, which is how I learned about challenged athletes. And then when I lived in San Francisco, I know a lot of people that were doing a lot of work with the organization. It's incredible. And I agree. I love sports. I love physical activity. I believe that, everybody, regardless of whether or not they consider themselves an athlete, can have an athlete mindset. And the opportunity that Challenge Athlete provides, people who have some of those physical limitations, like, it's incredible. And it like warms my heart, and it gets me really excited, especially to see all the kids that they involve. And I think about you as an 8-year-old running around like a nut, and having them be able to give you some structure and give you some opportunity and give you some things like running legs and some, I know that they also, I think, supported your Kona effort with a hand cycle, which is awesome. So that's great. And I also know that you just recently announced your sponsorship with Team Vega, which is plant-based protein and nutrition products. So I've seen your pictures, Rod. You are jacked and super lean, and a lot of people think that elite and professional athletes, there's no way that they could be powered by plants. So talk to me about that partnership and your eating lifestyle, because I'm so curious. I'm just picturing you, I don't know, just eating like steak off the bone every meal.
I didn't really consider going plant-based until Kona. I was already eating veggies and staying pretty healthy, but once Kona was presented to me, I only had a few months, so I thought I need any kind of leverage, any kind of any kind of positive or benefit to kind of give me that upper hand. And that's the first thing that came to mind, was just eat a bunch of greens all the time, all day, and just get different varieties.
Yep.
And I felt so strong during that race that I was like, okay, I can do this. There's days now where I just listen to my body, and there's days where I just don't want meat. It's just naturally like, okay, I want to eat, carbs and fruit in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my protein-based lunch, obviously plant-based, and then just heavy veggies at night and be ready to go the next day. And also constantly snacking. So I'm always eating, but it's usually always healthy.
I'm usually always eating too. It's just not usually always healthy.
But
I get that.
Always.
I'm a big snacker too.
We have our moments, There might be a cookie here or there, but
here or there. Yeah, sure. More like my regular day. That's awesome. So cool. Congratulations on that partnership. That's rad. That's super exciting. And a great, I think the sort of plant-based athlete movement is really gaining steam. And I've spent a lot of time following Rich Roll. And he's incredible, and just learning how many athletes there are out there that are either, 100% plant-based or basically, fueled by primarily plants, and it's awesome. And I think it's a great example, both for, kind of the environment, but also like our bodies, which is not to say I'm 100% plant-based. I'm moving more towards it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a progression, I just started listening to my body, and I let it decide what I wanted,
Got it. All right. I'll use you as my motivation. So, in terms of mindset, what I like to talk to everybody about here on No Time to Waste is, you're familiar with what I'm talking about here, and the idea that all of us have a terminal illness, not just me. All of us are, not going to live forever, right? So it's about how can we confront that harsh reality and that mortality idea, and really work intentionally to craft a life without regrets and maximize our moments. So I'd ask you, what is it like for you when you think about kind of living like there's no time to waste? What does that mean to you?
I've had my whole life pretty much from other people been told, because of my disability, what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very limiting, as I'd rather take more time to figure out how I can do it. Like I've accepted the fact that I'm different. Now let me figure out how I'm going to do things differently, it's naturally, my mom's just posting like crazy
I
on
know.
me.
I just saw. It's okay. My mom posts like crazy too. It's okay. It's love, right?
It is. And it took being comfortable with myself first, and then going from, okay, now that I've accepted how I am, you know, how do I make space for myself in this world that isn't necessarily going to make space for me? So, and that's what I think when I think no time to waste is, we like you said, we have a short amount of time. We don't know how long we have on this
Mhm.
earth. Like, I could walk outside and that's it. It could be today. Um, but I take pride in the fact that, if that did happen, I've done a lot with my life, and I didn't allow whatever I was going through, because we all have different struggles. We all have different, obstacles that we're going through on the regular.
Yeah.
But are we like sheltered in? Are we going to just let time pass by and have this negative mindset on what we should be doing with our lives because of what we're going through? Are we going to let our struggle decide where we're going to be, or are we going to take it and you never know who you're going to inspire along the way. There's so many
Mhm.
people I've met that are have family that are amputees, or family and friends that are going through something, and they just bawl. They just start coming to tears because they see me and they're like, okay, I don't have an excuse. My family doesn't have an excuse. There's another way. It's a possible way.
Yeah.
Um, but that wouldn't have happened if there was that um, just like instant, oh, woe is me kind of feel. It would have been just as another pity party,
Yeah.
and that's definitely not what I'm about.
Yeah. I feel that for sure. Right. A lot of people, be it a situation like yours, right, where you go, well, I don't have any legs. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Hmm.
Right. Or a situation like mine where it's like, what if the treatment doesn't work and I have less than 6 months to live? Why get up? Why try? What's the
Hmm.
point? Right. And I'm not saying, at least for me, that I haven't had moments of self-pity, right, and just feeling like lack of motivation and just being like, this is too hard. I don't want to play. I don't want to work.
Hmm.
But I think the mindset of someone like you or I or a lot of other people out there, that what overpowers that, what overcomes that lack of motivation and that sadness or that pity, is this internal fire that rises above it,
Hmm.
and basically pushes it down and just says, no, no, I don't quit, right?
Hmm.
Like, I don't quit. No matter what's in front of me, I'm going to keep going. I am a warrior, and there is a purpose to me being here, and there's a purpose to me continuing to go on. And for you, look at what you've done and how many people you've inspired by your accomplishments, right? And hopefully you had fun along the way.
Hmm.
And that's how I'm trying to live my life now too, which
Hmm.
is, how can I be of service to people? How can I help? How can I have an impact? Also, how can I distract myself? Because I don't actually want to sit and like think
Hmm.
about my situation. Like, that doesn't make me feel good. So I think having that bias towards action, which a lot of athletes do, where it's actually easier for us to just like kind of power through
Hmm.
than it is for us to sit back and wallow and stuff, because it doesn't make us feel good, you know?
But I will say you're powering through. There's a world of people out there, and there's a world of people that are going through the same thing you're going through, you know?
Yeah.
So to have you on the front lines, like, we're gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
We're not gonna people it's surprising the way people are affected, and it's surprising seeing their reaction, what it does to you.
Yep.
Like,
Totally.
I definitely have rough days. I have days when I don't want to get out of bed, but
Totally.
there's also families that I've met and their children are amputees, and they look at me like, oh my gosh, I can be a superstar. I can be, a big time athlete. I can I can do whatever I want to do. I can
You
be
can,
Captain America. I
right?
love that you're binging that, by the way. I heard
Yeah,
that you were
it's
binging it. I
awesome.
love
It's
that.
like a great feel good fantasy binge. It's awesome. Um,
Me and my buddy, I had a friend in Colorado. I would always call him Captain America, and I was like Black Panther, because that's the way we viewed like America. I know.
I was
It
gonna
was,
start it. I didn't want to start the day with like a downer, but this
yeah.
this this one goes out to Chadwick Boseman, who was a freaking hero in his own life,
We lost a good one for sure,
for sure.
and he definitely set a standard for a lot of people, even myself. I caught myself from complaining, just because of
Yeah,
him. There's days where I'm like, I
totally.
don't want to train. I don't want to work out. And seeing how this man just put aside everything for everyone
Yep.
else for
Yep.
years, it's, yeah, that's
And
inspiring.
he's focused so much of his time on giving back,
Hmm.
right? And visiting kids at St. Jude and
Hmm.
donating his time to other charities and just focused on giving back and like the relationships that it sounds like he had with his close friends and how he was always talking about being grateful and living life like there's no time to waste. And like
Hmm.
man, yeah, it is a reminder that all of us should live in this next 24 hours like he did,
Hmm.
and be grateful and for you to be grateful every time you get to go out and train and work out, even when you're lazy or feeling like crap one morning.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's crazy. All right, I've got the no time to waste rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
You can't prep these. I did not give you these ahead of time, and I don't want you to overthink them.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, one of your favorite foods.
One of my favorite
Yeah,
foods.
don't overthink it.
I
Doesn't have to be a vegetable.
was gonna say salad, but I was like, no.
Salad.
No, actually, I love fruit. I love apples. I
Apples. What's
love
your favorite
apples.
kind of apple?
Gala apples.
Really?
Yeah, I like those.
I like Fuji's or Honey Crisps. I like the
Fuji is
sweet
really
stuff.
good.
Fuji's are
Fuji is really good
delicious.
too. Yeah, I
They're
like those.
delicious. All right. One thing that you think about you're proud of.
I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot I'm proud of. I'm proud
Just
of
pick one.
one thing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my family. I feel like with Kona, there was like a spark that went off and my family was all affected in some kind of way. But even before then, we've all had our own struggles to build like this new understanding for our next generation.
Yeah.
Just a new set of standards for them to live by. And I've been seeing it slowly build and yeah, it's inspiring to see everybody else do well, and then it makes me want to go on my own and do my own thing and I kind of represent as well. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's great. All right. Well, one thing you're grateful for.
One thing I'm grateful for,
Mhm.
my health. I'm grateful for my health right now. Like I said, there's days when I'm extremely sore and tired, but
Yeah.
even when I'm sore, I'm like, at least I could do that. There's a reason why I was able to go ride for 2 hours and come back and I'm sore. I
Yep.
was able to go swim 2 hours and, I can enjoy that. So I appreciate it even when it's painful sometimes.
Yep. Got it. That's a good one. Last person I said I love you to.
My mom, she's on here.
She's on here. Hi, Mom.
That's right.
Um, one place you want to travel to when we can travel again.
One place I would love to travel to. Where was I going? There was somewhere I was trying to go. I would definitely like to go back home to San Diego.
Yeah.
If I was thinking in the country,
Yeah.
um, out of country, honestly, Japan is the only thing on my mind. Japan.
Japan's on my list too.
Yeah,
Except I want to go in the winter so I can ski at
Mm,
Hokkaido.
mm,
That's
I
my winter situation.
I'm
But I do
waiting
want to
to.
go to Tokyo for like a
Yeah,
day.
I would.
Be like,
I mean, my plan is to be there for games, and then I want to stay at least a week after, just to kind of tour around and enjoy it.
yep. So
Um,
the games that you're talking about are the Paralympic Games that are going
yeah.
to be happening in Tokyo next year,
Hmm.
right? That are right after the other Olympics,
Yes. They'll
right?
be late August.
And to my knowledge, you have always been a really strong swimmer, and you've been on the Paralympic swim team. But this is a huge
Not
attempt for. Sorry, go ahead.
not on the team. I have
Not
been
on the team.
the highest level I've gotten was World Championships for Team
Okay.
USA. Not on the
Oh,
Paralympic team
just the
yet.
World Championships. Hmm.
Got
Well,
to step it,
you're training right now though with the aim because there was just a New York Times article on you in June, which is incredibly impressive. I'll post it on Instagram after,
Mhm.
where it talks about your path right now, your journey to try and become a two sport Paralympic athlete, where you'd
Mhm.
be representing Team USA in both Paralympic swimming and Paralympic cycling on the hand cycle. Is that right?
Mhm. That's the plan.
That's the
Hmm.
plan, man. So now you're training and that's what you're doing now. And hear you're going to be moving back to Colorado, hopefully this winter.
Hmm.
You and I are going to freaking jam. I don't know what, I can't keep up with you doing anything physical, but I don't know. I feel like on your recovery day, if you need to like go for a walk, I could probably do that. Maybe
We'll
like a
still have fun.
jog.
We'll
All
have
right,
fun. We'll
cool.
find something.
All right. And the last thing I would say is when it comes to, or two more questions, one thing that brings you joy.
One thing that brings me joy. Wow. These are good questions.
Are they too intense? I don't want you
No,
to have
it's
to think
just
about them.
it's things
What
I
makes you
should.
happy?
Yeah, it's things I should think about, but I just off the top of my head, it's like I'm happy about a lot.
Which is great.
I'm very much a family man.
Hmm.
I'm the type like I keep an eye on everyone, just to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Even if I can't do anything, if something's going on, just talk to me. And then when I know everything's okay is when I'm like, okay, everybody's good. I can go focus on
Then you
myself.
can feel
Like,
good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Sounds a lot like, gotta get you a t-shirt. All right. And then last thing I would say, what's from a legacy standpoint, what's one thing you want to be known for?
Hmm. I think I would like to be known for not quitting. In my work ethic, if anything. I think if anybody was to remember me by anything, I would hope it would be that.
Got it. Awesome. Um, well, and then I guess I would say the last thing would be what's one thing that you feel like in interviews and stuff you never get the chance to say, or one thing that you wish people knew that they don't know, or you wish they knew about you?
I feel like a lot of people, when they meet me, they think, he's so secure, he's so strong, and it didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be that way. And my mom's on here now, she could probably testify, but when I was young, she would have me stand in the mirror. I was really young, maybe 5. And she had me stand in the mirror with my prosthetics on, and I think I had like shorts on, so you could see everything.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just crying because she would not let me leave until I, got comfortable with what I saw in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just bawling, bawling. I turned back and looked at her, still crying, and I could tell in her eyes. To this day, I still remember. She looked at me like, "You're gonna have to like this is I can't do anything. This is all
Yeah.
you. You're gonna have to like tap into this." And I looked back at myself and I started getting comfortable with what I saw.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of did a like looking down, comfortable with my legs first and like building up,
Yeah.
so when I was younger, like I was, whether it's picked on about my legs, whether it's picked on about having, extremely dark skin, either way, whatever it was, it took me a while to adjust and say, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with that. I like the way this looks, I like the way that look, you know? And
Wow.
yeah, it was a journey to be comfortable in my own skin and to tell myself that I love myself and to at the same time show other people to love themselves, however they are. Like I said, when you're born, you're supposed to make room for yourself in this world. This world's not going to make room for you, but it starts with loving yourself.
God, you like make me want to cry. And your mom too, man. That's what a great story. And right, it is for all of us about self-acceptance and being able to look in a mirror and like what we see and be comfortable with it, regardless of what, under this sport wig, I ain't got no hairs. So I feel the looking in the mirror and having tears and having to come to a place of acceptance in order to move forward and find your place. My sister is asking if she could be best friends with you.
Of course.
When you move back to Colorado, maybe she will be hanging out here too. We'll all hang out together.
All right.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled to get to share you with the world because, as hopefully people have just seen, like you're so much more than an amputee. You're so much more than an adaptive athlete. You're so much more than a Paralympian and an Ironman. Like you are a good human and someone that has the right intentions, and you exude that spirit. And I'm selfishly so stoked to meet you in person in a couple months.
I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
All right. So the last thing before I kick Rod off, are you excited about this backpack, Rod? I'm
Yes,
excited about this
I
backpack.
want it, but I want
I
somebody else can
know.
have
I already told Rod, I
it.
was like, you can't take it. I can't either, even though I really want it. Because it's waterproof and it can fit all of your stuff. And it's, as we both know, freaking triathlon as a sport is really expensive.
Yes.
So what you guys are going to see if you're watching right now, you're going to see a post with the backpack, the giveaway, on R Sewell 92 and my Instagram No Time to Waste project as well. Same post. Will include the giveaway instructions, but what you're going to do is you will have until next Wednesday, so no need to rush off right now. But you're going to follow both Rod and No Time to Waste project. On either one of the posts, you're going to tag another friend and you're going to put the hashtag No Time to Waste, and a random winner will be selected and announced on next Friday's Instagram live show. So I want to thank Rod Sewell. I'll be posting a bunch of stuff about his journey and the recent New York Times article. Good luck with your training. We're behind you 100%. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us on No Time to Waste.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're awesome. Thanks, Rod. All right. So what a cool guy. So giveaway is in effect. Get ready. Next week, I have, brace yourselves. I mean, if this is cool to you, it's really cool to me. Julie Foudy, U.S. soccer legend, part of the 1999 World Cup team, the one that like really took like the U.S. by storm. They won with the penalty kicks. Brandi Chastain took her shirt off and was like swinging it in a sports bra in front of the goal. It was incredible. It was like the Mia Hamm, Brandi Chastain, Julie Foudy team. She became then an ESPN commentator. Is he single? People are asking about Rod. I don't know, but I will ask him. So Julie Foudy, though, you know, U.S. soccer legend, then started working for ESPN as a color commentator. Now has a freaking fantastic podcast, which you guys should check out, called Laughter Permitted. She basically interviews like pretty much most of my dream list of guests. She most recently successfully pulled together a group of investors that included some A-list celebs like Natalie Portman, Jessica Chastain, also Serena Williams, Abby Wambach, Mia Hamm, like a bunch of soccer celebs as well. And they are bringing a women's soccer team to LA as part of the newly formed National Women's Soccer League, the NWSL, which is going to launch in 2022. So I am super stoked to bring Julie Foudy on here. She pretty much kind of like corners the entire joy category of maximizing moments and living like there's no time to waste. She is just a freaking, not only force, but she's also just like a ton of fun to hang out with. So next week is going to be Julie Foudy. We're going to then take a break, hiatus. And then after that, and this is what I want to ask you guys about, it'd be awesome if you could just put your responses in the comments, or you could respond right now if you're live. I had somebody basically say, you're doing all the work of a podcast. You've got these great guests. You're basically taking the Instagram live videos and I'm converting them onto YouTube and putting them at notimetowasteproject.com/show. So anybody can watch past episodes. You don't have to be on Instagram. She's like, why don't you just make a podcast out of it? And I was like, maybe I could do that. So she connected me with somebody. So here's my thought. Starting after the break, starting September 25th, I kick off the fall season as a real podcast. So I will put it on Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, any of the other podcast platforms. I continue to have awesome guests. The guest shows, No Time to Waste Live, will be around 30, 35 minutes every show. It will be like loosely edited, probably not at all. So we'll do a podcast that'll get pushed out once a week. But then I'll continue to have an Instagram live show that will be more informal. It will be more me pulling on personal friends of mine to talk about how they're living life like there's no time to waste. And I'm going to be able to give actual tactical ideas on the things that I talk about in my speaking engagements, which is how I can live, how people can live like there's no time to waste. Like, what can they do right now? And I can get suggestions from people, and it can be super loose. And that would be like my Instagram live show. So, formal podcast called No Time to Waste Live with freaking big name guests, because by the way, I am lining up some like legit heavy hitters for October, November, December. Like, it's going to be off the chain. It's going to be like grown up, but not feeling grown up. But then I also can keep the like me on Instagram live, and I can pull people in, and I can like be like, hey, Carrie, my sister, like hop on, talk about this. And we just, we like riff and have fun. So that's the question. I'm getting a question that says, do your guests need special equipment for them to participate? I don't think so. You've seen what I've been doing with Instagram Live. I feel like the sound and audio quality is good. I have to like learn a little bit about stuff, but I'm going to have a meeting with a podcast producer next week. So I don't know. Again, like I ain't got shit to do. It's just my time. So I don't know. People are saying, yes, I still need to see your face every week. I know. So I thought this would be a way that would kind of hit on both of those, where me, doing like fake show on Instagram just for fun, pulling friends on, talking about No Time to Waste, Captain America, Peloton, etc. But then I have a formal podcast once a week where I actually introduce or interview like big name guests that are just like heavy hitters. And, I don't know. That's my thought. I'm thinking about it. It'll take more work. I just want to get the word out about No Time to Waste. As I've told people, this is my personal legacy now. And like anything else I do in my life, I want to do this 110% and I want to crush it. So I got to get the word out. And I think doing a real podcast and putting it on podcast platforms might be the way to do it. So, all right. People are excited, but then again, not that many people. And I think 50% of the people who've responded so far are my immediate family. So would love to have your responses in the comments. Let me know. Thank you guys. Don't forget to enter the giveaway that's going to be posted today, and win a $150 Rudy Project backpack, which is awesome. Your quote for the week is from Henry Rollins. When the body is strong, the mind thinks strong thoughts. I'm super grateful that I feel physically good this week. It keeps me in a positive headspace when I can be physically active. And I got to go because I have to go take Robin Arzen's HIIT run class on Peloton. Have a great week, guys. I will see you here with Julie Foudy next Friday. Go live and love like there's no time to waste.